Monday morning. Thanks so much for joining me this morning, and we're going to do some sports. We're going to bring you a highlight of the major European Leagues matches that happened over the weekend here on the local scene. Amazing. Aduana Stars have won the Premier League title, the 2016-17 edition. So in the last 7 years, they've won the Premier League twice. They defeated Elimina Sharks by 2-1 yesterday. Other results, we already know Aduana Stars have won the league title. For the relegation battle is still on. Apart from already relegated Bolga Stars, as many as 5 teams still stand up for relegation, and we'll look at those teams and how their matches went over the weekend. And also, we'll give you an idea of the league table as well. I've already mentioned the major European leagues. We'll bring you highlights of the matches that were played in the English Premier League. Also, in the Spanish La Liga, Barcelona went away to play, they played away to Atletico Madrid, and they drew that game. Real Madrid won. Cristiano Ronaldo scored his first goal in this season's La Liga. We'll bring you highlights of that one. Also, we'll tell you what happened in the Italian Serie A, the matches that were played, Juventus, as well as the Derby della Madonnina, what happened yesterday. And in the French League as well, Paris Saint-Germain continued their fine form. They won away to Dijon, and we'll check what happened in the German Bundesliga. Your Pankins played his first game when he took over on interim basis the Bayern Munich team. Also, will be there to check what happened over the weekend. But we have to start here on the local scene. That's the Ghana Premier League, and with 29 matches were honored over the weekend, and the big one, of course, was the Aduana Stars or Elimina Sharks game. So we're all looking at how Aduana Stars were going to wrap up this season's Premier League title if they win against the Elimina Sharks, and exactly so, they won that game by 2-1 to clinch this season's Premier League. So Aduana Stars doing that magic. Coach Yusuf Abubakar, proud to the season, mentioned that he was going to do everything possible to win the Premier League title. Exactly so, yesterday they wrapped up the league title with a match to spare. So Aduana Stars are champions of this season's Premier League, the 2016-2017 edition. Yesterday they defeated Elimina Sharks by 2-1 at the Indom Stadium, and we'll bring you more of this in our subsequent sports bulletins. So definitely we'll get reactions from the Aduana camp and how amazing it's been, the journey winning this season's Premier League. So other matches that were played in the Premier League over the weekend, Mediama SC were at home to Kumasi Asante Kotoko at the Takwa TNA Park. They won that game by a goal to 0, and Accra Hearts of Oak rather went away and they lost by a goal to 0 to Mediama. Asante Kotoko defeated Bekum Chelsea by a goal to 0 at the Barbara Stadium, and Tema Youth Bechim United ended 2-1 in favour of Tema Youth, and Accra Gold Olympics defeated Ashanti Gold by a goal to 0 at the Accra Sports Stadium. The game involving Wow All Stars, Bolga All Stars ended 6-1 in favour of the defending league champions. Nebusoldovs defeated Wafa by 2-1. Intala is also defeated Liberty Professionals by 2-1. So what it means is that Aduana winning the Premier League title, we still have some teams lurking around the relegation zone. Already relegated Bolga All Stars languishing bottom with just 12 points. They are gone. But the likes of Accra Gold Olympics, Tema Youth, Bechim United, Liberty Professionals, Ashanti Gold Interallies are still up for the relegation. They are still up for relegation, and these teams must win their last group games or their last games in the league to stay in the Premier League. For a team like Great Olympics, they go away to play Bekum Chelsea, and they must win at all costs to stay in the Premier League. Also, Ashanti Gold will play against Aduana Stars at the Obuasi and Clay Stadium next Sunday. But Aduana, having won the league, obviously you expect Ashanti Gold to do everything that they can to win that game to stay in the league. Also, we'll have Tema Youth and Bechim United as well. So the Ghana Premier League will be very, very interesting when it comes to the final match day, especially with the teams that will be fighting to escape relegation. We have to do some more, move away from Ghana and talk the major European leagues. So we'll start with the English Premier League. And as you watched over the weekend, Crystal Palace, struggling Crystal Palace, having played 7 matches without a win, without a goal, finally got 2 goals. The goals were scored against defending champions Roland Walker's team, Chelsea, at the Selhurst Park. We've got highlights for you.
Bottom of the table, Crystal Palace hosted defending champions Chelsea in a David versus Goliath Premier League clash at Selhurst Park on Saturday. Palace, who were yet to register a single point on the table, were still searching for their first goal of the season, and they finally found it in the 11th minute of their 8th game.
And it's in! Crystal Palace get their first goal of the season. It's come against the champions, and that's more like it at Selhurst Park.
Their lead was short-lived as Samui Bakayoko rose above the rest to head home the equaliser for Chelsea. From having scored no goals before the match, Palace suddenly had 2 before half-time.
Now Zaha, he's away, and he's scored! Wilfried Zaha, back in the team, back with a goal. Crystal Palace in front once again. Boy, they missed him. That's what he does.
Chelsea had their chances to draw level again, but the Blues failed to capitalise, while Patrick van Aanholt had the opportunity to bury the result with 5 minutes remaining. But the Palace defender sent his strike well wide. Palace almost threw away their lead at the death when Mamadou Sakho inexplicably backheeled the ball inside his own box, straight into the path of Cesc Fabregas, but the Spaniard made a hash of the attempt as the home side held on for a very famous victory.
There's the full-time whistle. Crystal Palace get their first win this campaign in the Premier League. Scenes of joy at Selhurst Park. What a fantastic win for them. What a wonderful atmosphere here. And what an impact made by the returning Wilfried Zaha. Back in the team.
So Crystal Palace with their first win of the season. They didn't come against any other team aside the defending champions of the English Premier League. That was Chelsea. It was played at Selhurst Park. It wasn't at Stamford Bridge. They won by 2-1. Well, in the other games, Manchester City, what an amazing form they are in. Manchester City defeated Stoke City 7-2 at the Etihad Stadium.
Manchester City were looking to continue their rampant form in the English Premier League when the citizens hosted the tricky Stoke City. The contest between the pair have been heated in recent times, but on this occasion it was City who flew out the blocks as Gabriel Jesus and Raheem Sterling made it 2-0 inside 20 minutes. City continued to turn on the style, and soon it was 3.
David Silva! Manchester City at their brilliant and breathtaking best yet again.
Stoke briefly threatened to come back after the interval after Mame Brian Diouf and a Kyle Walker own goal, so Stoke cut the deficit to just 1 as they made it 3-2. But then City cranked it up, with the Brazilian getting a second after a superb ball into the box by Kevin De Bruyne before Fernandinho scored an absolute cracker.
Fernandinho! That is phenomenal! That is magical from Fernandinho!
De Bruyne may have not got onto the score sheet, but he was at his creative best, this time setting up Leroy Sané, who made it 6 for City. Bernardo Silva then rounded off a stunning 7-2 win for City as they continue to show just why they are favourites for the Premier League title.
So Manchester City won that game by 7-2 at the Etihad Stadium. What a goal that was from Fernandinho. So Man City unstoppable at the moment. Well, the other Manchester team, United, went away to play Liverpool at Anfield on Saturday. That was the early kick-off. That game ended goalless.
Rivalry between Liverpool and Manchester United is one of the most intense in the Premier League, with the two most successful clubs in English football frequently serving up spectacles when they meet. With the international break out of the way, all eyes turned to Anfield. The Reds looked promising on attack but failed to find a way past David De Gea in the first half. United's keeper denied Liverpool the game's opener with a brilliant save in the 34th minute. It proved to be a frustrating half for United's in-form Romelu Lukaku, who was looking to become the first player to score 8 goals in his first 8 Premier League games for the Red Devils. No card for this challenge. And the 24-year-old also managed to create a shot on target in the 43rd minute, but Simon Mignolet kept the teams on level terms. More good work from the Reds led to another opportunity, but Emre Can's touch let him down. A day of missed opportunities for Jurgen Klopp's men, while United managed to keep another clean sheet as they stretched their unbeaten start to the Premier League season to 8 matches.
So Liverpool Manchester United game at Anfield ended goalless. It was an amazing game on Saturday, the early kickoff in the English Premier League. And yesterday, another game was played. That was Tottenham Hotspur. They defeated Bournemouth by 1-0 at the London Stadium.
Tottenham's last 5 league matches have seen them win 3 and draw 2 as they faced a Bournemouth team battling to get to grips with the new season, currently lying second from bottom. Despite their poor start to the campaign, it was the Cherries who had the most threatening chance in the opening quarter, with Hugo Lloris being forced into pulling out some top-draw reflexes after a scramble in the Spurs box. The home team's best chance of the half fell to Harry Kane, but Asmir Begovic was up to the task. Straight out of the break, Heung-min Son and Christian Eriksen capitalised on a Bournemouth error.
Son, Eriksen. Well, it didn't take very long, did it? After half-time, less than 1 minute 45 seconds from the restart.
Closing in on the last 10 minutes, Jermaine Defoe came close to bringing Eddie Howe's men level. Eriksen then aimed to double his tally on the day, but again Begovic was in the way. The scoreline would remain unchanged for the rest of the encounter as Spurs took home all 3 points.
So Tottenham Hotspur getting a win at the expense of Bournemouth yesterday in the English Premier League. Also Newcastle United Southampton, where they played their game yesterday at the St Mary's Stadium and ended 2-2.
Southampton hosted Newcastle at the St Mary's Stadium in the final Premier League match of the weekend. The Saints endured an underwhelming start to their season, and the match followed a similar pattern.
And then a screaming finish from Isaac Hayden. What a goal that is!
The Magpies went into the break with a slim lead that was soon eradicated by Southampton striker Manolo Gabbiadini. The deadlock didn't stand for long.
And Perez again, 2-1 Newcastle. The relief lasted seconds, only seconds.
Southampton had a chance to draw level once again when Florian Lejeune knocked over Shane Long inside the area. Gabbiadini did the rest from the spot as the teams played out to a 2-2 draw.
Okay, so we have to check matches that were played in the English Premier League over the weekend. Liverpool drew goalless with Manchester United, and Burnley won. West Ham United won, as well as Crystal Palace beating Chelsea by 2-1, and Manchester City Stoke ended 7-2 in favour of City, and Swansea defeated Huddersfield by 2 goals. The Ghanaian international Jordan Ayew was involved in that game, did very well for Swansea City, and Tottenham defeated Bournemouth by a goal to nil. Also, Watford Arsenal ended 2-1 in favour of Watford. And what's happening to Gerald Conceição? What's happening to Arsenal? Arsenal, what's happening? Well, Brighton, Everton 1-1, and then yesterday Southampton 2, Newcastle United also 2. So we have to do some more, and this time we go to the Spanish La Liga, of course. And obviously, when we talk Spanish La Liga, I have to show you highlights of matches involving Real Madrid and Barcelona. First, we check what happened in the Real Madrid game against Getafe. Madrid won by 2-1. Cristiano Ronaldo scoring his first goal of the season.
Place Real Madrid were desperate to close the gap on La Liga leaders Barcelona when they travelled to the Coliseum Alfonso Perez to take on Getafe on Saturday. The visitors went ahead shortly before half-time, with Karim Benzema finding the back of the net. Getafe drew level soon after the restart, with Jorge Molina burying a right-footed shot from very close range into the bottom left-hand corner. The match looked destined to end deadlocked, but who else but Cristiano Ronaldo had other ideas.
Lovely ball to Ronaldo, sits up beautifully, 2-1. Well, he missed a sitter earlier, not going to miss that one. The pass was perfect, didn't have to break his stride, and no mistake from Cristiano Ronaldo, who continues his remarkable goal-scoring record against Getafe.
Real securing a hard-fought 2-1 victory.
Real Madrid went away, defeated Getafe by 2-1. On the other hand, Barcelona also went away to play Atletico Madrid at their new stadium, and Barca managed to win a 1-1 draw.
Well, the back pages of papers around the world after he started for Argentina. Messi almost scores in the 30th second of the game. Is he tired from his jet setting? I think not.
Just shaking the rust off there, wasn't he? An incredible start to the game.
Griezmann getting plenty of the ball early on, chased out all through the legs, but not through the legs of Ter Stegen, who's having a personal battle at the moment. Asco. Saul! Sensational goal! Patience pays off for Atletico Madrid.
Football of the highest quality. under real pressure to keep possession. Barcelona doing their best to try and close them down, but Atletico Madrid was so tidy, so quick, and so incisive. See the build-up, Felipe pushing forward. Carrasco's involved, and once Sal finds a little bit of space between midfield and defence, Barcelona slow to react. You take a risk when you're up against Sal, a goal scorer of big goals in big games. It's a huge game, and it's a huge goal for Atletico Madrid. Places it with the power, curls it into the bottom corner.
Sergio Roberto. Suarez! What a relief for Barcelona! The first time he's seen any daylight in that penalty area, Luis Suarez reacts. The first time that Atletico have blinked.
Well, I said earlier, and he's been in much better form tonight than he was at the start of the season. Slowly improving. A couple of goals in the week for Uruguay. It's boosted his confidence. And he's in the right place at the right time on this occasion to equalise for Barcelona. Pulls away towards the far post, not picked up, which is a surprise. Juan Fran is the closest player, but he gets away from his two markers, the two central defenders. And from that range, heads it down. It's not an easy finish by any means. But from that range, Oblak can't do an awful lot. Tries to react quickly. Suarez heads it down. Barcelona back on level terms.
So Luis Suarez with the equalizer as Barcelona drew 1-0 with Atletico Madrid in that crunch game, which was played on Saturday night. Well, so the Spanish La Liga was big over the weekend, Madrid winning and also Barcelona drawing, and Barca are still leading the Spanish La Liga table. I nearly said Barca leading the English Premier League table. So we have to do some more and also check what happened in Italy. So the matches that were played in Italy, great games we saw over the weekend. Juventus lost their very first game at home since when? They've been playing lots of games at home, but they never, taste defeat. But over the weekend, they lost their game to Lazio by 2-1. And also Napoli ended 1-0 in favour of Roma. Then Fiorentina Udinese ended 2-1 in favour of Udinese, with Bologna also beating Spa 2013 by 2-1 in Cagliari. Genoa was 3-2 in favour of Genoa. The Derby della Madonnina involving Inter Milan and AC Milan went in favour of Inter Milan. Joe miss AC Milan. Now Derby della Madonnina, you are unable to win. So which game are you going to win? AC Milan lost by 3-2. Joe actually is my big brother and he loves his AC Milan. So away from the Serie A, briefly, these matches that were played in the German Bundesliga, Job Hankins is taking over Bayern Munich on interim basis. His first game in charge, he won by 5-0. That was against Freiburg over the weekend. And Borussia Dortmund also lost at home to Leipzig by 3-2. And Neymar inspired his Paris Saint-Germain team as they defeated Dijon by 2-1. They went away and won that game. And also Lyon Monaco, which was played on Friday, ended 3-2 in favour of Monaco. You might have heard that Morocco has been given the right to host the 2018 CHAN tournament. So 2018 CHAN tournament is going to Morocco. Last month it was stripped off Kenya. In Morocco, they actually put in a bid and went through. So Morocco will host the tournament, which will happen, God willing, next year in January. So Morocco is hosting. Which other thing that we have to do briefly? We have to take a leave of you. But before we do that, we have to talk some tennis. And Wimbledon champion with a federal beat world number 1 Rafael Nadal 6-4, 6-3 in the Shanghai Masters final to capture his 6th title of the year. If you have highlights for that, Fred, can we show that? Okay, so we'll bring the highlights of that that match involving Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal later. So join us at 2 on Sports Today for that. Also, former world number 1 Maria Sharapova won her first title since May 2015. Highlights of that will come your way later. My name is Benedict, so that's how we end the sports. A very good morning to Derek Ekosam and also Fred, he's our director. We'll catch you at midday and also at 2 on Sports Today with Nathaniel. Have a wonderful day.